Dark psychology. A mirroring technique to manipulate the audience's mind. Introduction. Imagine standing at a bustling party. Laughter and conversation echo from every corner, yet there is only one person you notice amidst the chaos. This person, without saying a word, seems to understand you remarkably well. Their movements, tone of voice, and even their facial expressions all reflect a version of yourself. You feel as though they get you, as if they think just like you do. Is this the magic of empathy, or a sophisticated scheme to infiltrate your mind? This book will take you to a world where nothing is as it seems. Mirroring, a technique that appears to be based on empathy, can become a mysterious and dark tool in the hands of skilled individuals, playing with your life. We will explore the depths of this psychological art, where the line between mutual understanding and mental manipulation blurs. Are you ready to uncover secrets you may not have considered before? Secrets that could make you rethink all your relationships? This book is not just a guide to better understanding yourself and others, but a journey into the depths of the human psyche's darkness. With each page you turn, you'll come to realize that mirroring is more than just a simple technique. Perhaps you have been a victim of this mental game without even realizing it. Now is the time to recognize this game, uncover it, and perhaps, just perhaps, turn it to your advantage. From this point on, nothing will be as it was. Join us as we look behind the mirror, where the truth lies hidden. Chapter 1. The concept of mirroring. What is mirroring? A reflection of the soul or a mind game? What is mirroring? Is it merely a simple reflection of others' behavior, or is it something more? Imagine sitting across from someone who mimics your every move, even subtly. When your hand reaches for a cup, theirs does the same. The smile on your face appears on theirs as well. But is this merely a coincidence, or is there a hidden intention behind this apparent coordination? Mirroring is more than just simple imitation. It is a complex art rooted in the depths of human psychology. This technique can be used unconsciously to create bonds and empathy. However, when used consciously and with specific intentions, it can become a powerful tool for controlling and influencing others' minds. Have you ever considered that someone around you might be using this technique to affect you without your awareness? History and origins of mirroring, a reflection emerging from the depths of history. Mirroring is not a concept born in the modern era. From ancient times to the present, this technique has subtly existed in various cultures and societies. Humans have long sought ways to better understand each other, and mirroring, as one of these ways, has evolved and developed over time. In ancient cultures, the concept of mirroring was recognized as a means to create empathy and mutual understanding. Tribal leaders and sages used this technique to influence the minds of their followers, reflecting their behaviors and thus gaining their trust and respect. Over time, however, this art became a tool for manipulation and control, evolving into a psychological weapon in the hands of skilled individuals. However, this same technique can be used differently. In dark psychology, mirroring becomes a tool for deception and manipulation. A person who skillfully employs this technique can easily gain your trust and then exploit it to achieve their own goals. Mirroring, though it may appear harmless and natural, can be a gateway to the darkest corners of the human psyche. You are now confronted with a concept that may change your view of the world. Mirroring, this mysterious art, not only infiltrates your everyday behaviors but may have been influencing you for a long time. But the question is, can you recognize this mental game and take control of it, or will you fall prey to it? Chapter 2. The psychological mechanisms behind mirroring. The role of the brain in mirroring, unconscious reflections or deliberate schemes. When you smile at someone and they return the exact same smile, have you ever wondered what is happening in both your brains? Our brain, this most complex biological machine, utilizes networks designed to mimic and reflect others' behaviors. These networks, known as mirror neurons, are responsible for reflecting movements, facial expressions, and even emotions of others. But is this process merely an involuntary reflection, Or does our brain have the ability to use this mechanism for hidden goals? Mirror neurons are not limited to physical imitation. They function on a deeper level, allowing us to read others' minds and understand their emotions. This unique capability of the brain, in the hands of a skilled individual, can become a weapon that enables them to infiltrate your mind and play with you. The impact of mirroring on emotions and feelings, the invisible touch of empathy and trust. Imagine you are talking to someone who seems to completely understand you. They react in the same way you think and even reflect your feelings. How does this coordination in behavior affect your emotions and feelings? Is it just a coincidence that you trust them and feel close, or is something deeper at play? Mirroring, through the activation of the same mirror neurons in the brain, can create a strong sense of empathy. The feeling that someone understands and empathizes with you has a powerful ability to build trust. But this is only one side of the story. On the other side, this empathy and trust can be used as a bridge to access your emotions and feelings. A person skilled in this technique can gradually break down your defensive walls and lead you to a point where you unconsciously trust them, even if this trust comes at a cost to you. Mirroring and personal identity. Mirrors that blur your identity. But mirroring is not just a psychological game. This technique can deeply impact your personal identity. Imagine constantly observing a reflection of yourself in others' behaviors. Can these reflections alter your identity? Could it be that, in this process, you distance yourself from your true self and become something others want to see? Frequent mirroring can gradually blur the boundaries between personal identity and the image others have of you. As you respond to others' behaviors and expectations, you may begin to change in ways that not only affect others' perceptions but also your own self-perception. This process, which might initially seem harmless, can gradually lead to a crisis of identity. This chapter invites you to delve deeper into the hidden mechanisms behind human behavioral mirrors. Can you still see yourself in these mirrors, or has your image become blurred in these reflections? This complex game has infiltrated not only your psychology and brain, but also your identity and existence. But will you be able to illuminate this darkness and reclaim your true self? Chapter 3. The benefits and applications of mirroring. In the complex and dynamic world of social relationships, mirroring can serve as a bridge for creating empathy and trust between individuals. When someone unconsciously or consciously mimics your behavior, facial expressions, or even tone of voice, it creates a sense of being understood. This apparent harmony can quickly break the ice between two people and foster a deeper sense of connection. Similarly, in everyday interactions, this technique can help you get along better with different people, improve your communications, and build relationships based on trust and empathy. However, the true power of mirroring becomes evident in the workplace and business settings. In complex and crucial negotiations, where every word and action can impact the outcome, mirroring can be an effective tool for guiding the conversation and even influencing the other party's decisions. By reflecting the behaviors and attitudes of the counterpart, you subtly direct them toward the direction you desire. This technique also applies to management and leadership. Successful leaders use mirroring to build their team's trust and guide them toward common goals. In the realm of psychological therapies, mirroring plays a key role in creating a safe and supportive environment for patients. When a therapist reflects the patient's behavior and emotions, it leads to a deeper, trust-based connection. The patient feels understood and empathized with, which can expedite the healing process and encourage the patient to express their feelings and issues more openly. Mirroring can also help the therapist gain deeper insights into the patient's problems and find more effective treatment approaches. Mirroring, this subtle and complex art, can enhance relationships, strengthen professional communications, and be a powerful tool in psychological therapy. However, just as this technique can work to your advantage, in the wrong hands, it can become a tool for manipulation and control. Like any powerful tool, mirroring requires careful understanding and application to be used effectively and beneficially for yourself and others. Mirroring as a dark psychological technique. Mirroring, in the hands of those seeking to manipulate and control others, can become a powerful and dangerous tool. This technique, which appears harmless and natural, can subtly influence the minds and behaviors of individuals when accompanied by hidden and selfish intentions. A person who uses mirroring with precision and awareness can lead you toward decisions and emotions that benefit them, without you even realizing you are being manipulated. Throughout history and in the real world, there are many examples of those who have used mirroring to achieve selfish goals and control others. From cult leaders to charismatic individuals who seek to exploit social or financial positions, this technique has always been a subtle and effective tool at their disposal. For example, cult leaders often use mirroring to create strong emotional bonds with their followers, bonds that allow them to exploit these individuals completely. However, the misuse of mirroring is not limited to individual gain and control over others. This technique can have serious and damaging consequences for those who are affected by it. Psychologically, a person who is repeatedly subjected to mirroring may experience identity confusion and diminished self-esteem. They may feel misunderstood or betrayed. Socially, this type of manipulation can lead to broken relationships, loss of trust in others, and even isolation. Mirroring, as a dark psychological technique, is always accompanied by serious risks and consequences. The misuse of this powerful tool can not only lead to psychological and social harm for others, but ultimately harm the person who uses it as well. The power of this technique is such that it can completely transform people's lives, and these transformations are not only not positive but can become bitter experiences whose effects last for a long time. Chapter 5. Coping with mirroring. In a world where mirroring can be used as a tool for manipulation and control, identifying this technique and coping with it is essential. Being aware of the signs and protective strategies is the first step in maintaining your independence and self-awareness against those who may use this technique with hidden agendas. The first signs that may indicate the use of mirroring are behaviors and reactions that are excessively coordinated and synchronized with you. If you notice that someone is unnaturally mimicking your movements, facial expressions, or tone of voice, this can be an initial warning. These behaviors may seem pleasant at first, but if they are done repeatedly and precisely, they may indicate an attempt by the individual to establish a controlled and manipulated connection with you. In this context, the most important strategy for coping with mirroring is increasing self-awareness. When you are aware of yourself and your feelings, you are less likely to be affected by the reflections others present of you. One effective strategy in this regard is strengthening personal boundaries and understanding your values and beliefs. When you clearly know who you are and what you want, you are less likely to be influenced by others' behaviors. Other effective strategies for coping with mirroring include practicing communication skills. Learning how to say no and express your feelings and needs directly can help you prevent potential abuse. Also, if you feel that someone is constantly mimicking your behavior, you can directly address this issue with them. This not only makes them aware that you are conscious of their behavior but can also reduce the use of this technique. Another method for countering the negative effects of mirroring is strengthening individual identity and self-awareness. Engaging in activities that provide you with satisfaction and self-knowledge can help you build a stronger identity. These activities may include meditation, journaling, or even participating in self-discovery and personal development courses. The more you know and respect yourself, the less likely you are to be affected by mirroring. Ultimately, coping with mirroring requires vigilance, self-awareness, and strengthening personal identity. By recognizing the signs of this technique and using appropriate strategies, you can protect yourself from potential abuse and instead build your life on your true values and beliefs. Maintaining mental independence and strengthening individual identity are your best defenses against the negative effects of mirroring. Chapter 6. Mirroring in Culture and Art. Mirroring in literature and cinema. This technique is frequently depicted in stories and artistic works, where writers and directors use it to showcase the depth and complexity of characters and their relationships. In literature, mirroring is employed as a tool to illustrate character development and foster empathy in readers. Characters who subtly mimic each other's behaviors and emotions come to a deeper understanding of each other and contribute to the internal and external conflicts of the narrative. In cinema, directors use mirroring to portray the balance and tensions between characters. Films in which characters continuously use this technique not only create compelling and exciting stories but also offer viewers an opportunity to reflect on psychological complexities and human interactions. This technique is also utilized in plays to draw audiences into the minds and emotions of characters, allowing for a deeper exploration of their interactions. Mirroring in historical and political relationships. In historical and political contexts, mirroring has been used as a tool for controlling and guiding masses. Great leaders in history, including politicians and military commanders, have employed this technique to influence the emotions and behaviors of people and achieve their objectives. This technique allows them to create trust and empathy among the public by mimicking societal behaviors and attitudes, then using this trust to advance their policies and agendas. For instance, throughout various periods, political leaders have built strong power bases by mimicking public values and beliefs. This use of mirroring has not only helped them gain public support but has also enabled them to exert greater control over the behaviors and reactions of the masses. However, such use can also lead to public discontent and resentment, especially when people become aware of the manipulation. The future of mirroring. In the digital world and social media, mirroring is increasingly evolving. With the expansion of new technologies and increased online interactions, this technique is emerging in new forms. In the digital space, users can effectively influence others' opinions and behaviors by mimicking and reflecting their activities, shaping emotions and interactions. In social media, this technique is widely used to convey specific images and messages to audiences. Marketers and advertisers use mirroring to establish emotional connections with their audiences and influence their choices. As a result, mirroring serves as a powerful tool for shaping online experiences and digital interactions, potentially leading to significant changes in how people communicate and engage with one another. Conclusion. Conscious use of mirroring. Mirroring, this complex and powerful psychological technique, can serve both as a tool for improving relationships and as a means for manipulation and harm, due to its capabilities to create connections and influence emotions and behaviors. By understanding the benefits and drawbacks of this technique, one can use it wisely and ethically. A technique for improvement or destruction? Naturally, mirroring can help improve personal and social relationships. By fostering empathy and mutual understanding, this technique can strengthen communications and create deeper connections. In professional and business environments, mirroring can facilitate negotiations, increase trust, and enhance management and leadership. It can also contribute to creating a supportive and safe environment for patients in psychological therapies. However, when mirroring is used with manipulative and exploitative intentions, it can become a tool for deception and control. Misuse of this technique can lead to psychological harm, diminished self-esteem, and disruption in relationships. Therefore, a thorough understanding of the positive and negative applications of mirroring and its ethical use is crucial. Final recommendations. To use mirroring as a positive and constructive tool, several key recommendations are: 1. Awareness and self-knowledge. Use mirroring with full awareness of your intentions and avoid exploiting it in others' relationships. Self-awareness and a clear understanding of personal values and beliefs can help prevent negative effects and misuse. 2. Transparency and honesty. Be transparent and honest in your interactions with others. Strive to establish genuine and meaningful connections rather than mere imitation, fostering empathy and mutual understanding. 3. Strengthen positive relationships. Use mirroring as a tool to enhance positive and constructive relationships. By creating connections based on respect and mutual understanding, you can help build deeper and more positive bonds. 4. Self-care. Given that mirroring can also be used for manipulation, be mindful to avoid indirect influence and manipulation in your interactions with others, and focus on maintaining your independence and identity. Ultimately, mirroring, as a technique with both positive and negative potentials, requires conscious and responsible use. By deeply understanding the applications of this technique and adhering to ethical principles, you can leverage mirroring to strengthen relationships, foster empathy, and improve communications, while avoiding its potential negative impacts and misuse.